From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us. So let's look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, Troy University has campuses and teaching sites located all around the world, but now a piece of Troy will be in a new location, the skies, as an Air Force C-130 will now sport some Trojan-themed artwork. Taylor Pollock gives us a look.
Spirits were sky high on Tuesday at the Troy Municipal Airport during the unveiling of Troy University nose art on a military aircraft, a Lockheed C-130H2 named the Trojan Warrior Spirit.
What an incredible event today. This is the kind of partnership between the military, in this case the 908th Airlift Wing, and Troy University that is sacred to us. And to actually have our logo and to have a C-130 named Trojan Warrior Spirit flying with these brave men and women of the 908th, we couldn't be more pleased and honored.
The nose art, which was a gift to the university, is important as it symbolizes unity, education, and pride.
Up at Maxwell Air Force Base, the 908 wants to partner up with state universities, and because all of them contribute to our servicemen, and Troy University was just a perfect fit. Wherever they are, to know that they've got the Troy University logo on the side, and that's where their heart lies because of the education that they're pursuing, it does add a lot more morale to you.
Troy University has been committed to the men and women in uniform for a long time. We appreciate the recognition, the honor, and the symbolism, the symbolic value of that logo on that aircraft.
And Trojan fans will get the chance to see this nose art in action this weekend in the skies above Veterans Memorial Stadium.
As part of Military Appreciation Day, we've been asked to do a flyover at the Troy University Stadium, so that's what we're going to do, and we'll actually have the crew come down and be introduced sometime during the game, but yes, you'll get a chance to see it again.
Taylor Pollock, Troy TrojanVision News.
A new multi-million-dollar grant is giving Troy University science students a chance to learn about the polymer and plastic industry. Sarah Weeks has the details.
Troy University's School of Science and Technology will soon be able to expand its research on polymers and plastic materials. On Monday afternoon, Troy received a $3.2 million grant from the National Institute of Standards and Technology. The grant will help establish a materials and manufacturing sciences research center on Troy's campus.
We have three different components within the center. We will have an analysis component, we'll have a production component, and we'll have a mechanical testing component.
Students will not only be working inside a state-of-the-art research center, they will also be working alongside the world's largest plastics recycler, KW Plastics, which is based in Troy, Alabama.
While we have our own internal labs that focuses on our product from day to day, having access to this center is going to give us an opportunity to really take on some of the larger technical challenges as an industry firm as a whole.
And the educational opportunities the grant will provide could potentially open some doors to employment in the city of Troy.
When they're ready to go to work, we have job opportunities for them here in Troy, such as Lockheed Martin, KW companies, Kimber is coming to town. All these things will help making our students ready to go to work.
The grant will go into effect in early October, and students will be able to go to work shortly after. Sarah Weeks, Troy TrojanVision News.
One of Troy's academic programs was recently recognized nationally for the education it offers its students. Anna Kate Patterson has that story.
Troy University is constantly acclaimed for its award-winning academic programs, and the Surveying and Geomatic Sciences program just put another award in the university's hypothetical trophy case.
The award was $10,000 for placing one of the third best in the country. Ultimately, we will be the first.
The National Council of Examiners for Engineering and Surveying awards ABET-accredited programs based on the fundamental knowledge and equipment offered to students, enrollment rates, and more.
And what we plan to do with that is use that as seed money for us to invest in it through foundations, hopefully, where we could take out the interest award student scholarships.
Davis Johnston, a senior in the Surveying and Geomatics program and student chapter president of the Alabama Society of Professional Land Surveyors, says land surveying is a growing field, and Troy graduates and current students are getting job offers every day.
We have companies come in all the time saying asking to hire all of us at the same time. We have people working for NASA, we have people working in South Florida, and even some that are out in California now.
And Ramroot says he wants to assure the general public that Troy University's Surveying and Geomatic Sciences program will always fill the desperate need for licensed land surveyors in Alabama and across the country. Anna Kate Patterson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Every year, the Hall School of Journalism and Communication hosts a series of workshops for high schoolers called J-Day. This event offers the high schoolers not only a look at Troy University, but also gives many of the soon-to-be college students an idea of what they might want to major in. Taylor Pollock has the story.
If you saw a multitude of high schoolers walking around Troy University today, they weren't just touring the school. They were participants of J-Day, an event hosted by the Hall School of Journalism and Communications that gives students an inside look at what they have to offer.
J-Day is an opportunity for high schoolers to come in and sort of get a feel for what Troy University has to offer. We offer workshops dealing with yearbook, broadcast media, multimedia journalism, and the high school students interact with some of our working professionals out there.
The 4-hour-long event saw over 500 high school students in attendance, the largest group J-Day has seen yet. This made Troy University student volunteers invaluable to the operation. But for many of those volunteers, they feel that the event was just as much of a learning experience for them as it was for the high schoolers.
It's a great opportunity to get involved and basically also a learning opportunity as well, because we got to listen in on what the other students were getting to hear, and it's always a great opportunity to volunteer when we get the chance to.
J-Day offered students the opportunity to get practical news experience and eventually be on TV.
My first session was sports, actually, and I learned a lot about sports. I didn't know that while doing sports you could do other things, like you could also be a news anchor. I want to be a journalist, I want to write, and I'm just really proud of this school. I want to come here.
We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll see how some of Troy's newest students planned their collegiate futures. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
Some students know exactly what they want to study when they get to college, but for others, the decision is not so easy. So for those students, Troy University's Career Services offered a chance to explore all of the possible majors at Troy. Janae Jordan has the details.
On Wednesday, Troy University's Career Services held a major exploration fair to help underclassmen and undeclared students explore career options.
We're having our major exploration fair. It's an event for freshmen and sophomores to come out and network with different majors on campus. So we have all faculty from all departments here, and they're just explaining their majors and what each department offers.
The major exploration fair helps students get a one-on-one with faculty from each college and gain a better understanding of each major.
So we have a lot of undeclared students, those who don't know what they want to major in, but a lot of students just come in and aren't really sure of all their options. So we wanted to have every single major in one place that students could talk to.
The major exploration fair helps freshmen and sophomore students get a broader view and a better understanding of each major.
I learned a lot of stuff about like different careers, what I want to do, and like I wasn't entirely sure of what I wanted to do, and I checked out maybe 4 different careers that I might be interested in and some different job opportunities, so it's pretty nice.
If you missed the major exploration fair, you can always visit Career Services in Eldridge Hall. Janae Jordan, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Depression is an issue that many battle with every day. Unfortunately, that battle is sometimes lost, and those fighting think the only way out is suicide. This week, the Future Child Advocates of Troy made an effort to let those know that are fighting this, and there's a better way. Anna Kate Patterson shows us how.
Try to help those people who are going through these particular issues understand that there's nothing wrong with it, and if you need help, we're here to help you find those options available.
Thursday was the Future Child Advocates of Troy's third Suicide Awareness Day. This year's theme, Trojans Listen.
We're out here handing out information on self-care tips, information on what to do if you know someone who's possibly in emotional distress, and just some counseling options that we have around Troy.
According to Fry, suicide is the second leading cause of death in young people ages 15 to 24.
If we can help those people who maybe don't recognize they may have a mental health issue or are kind of ashamed that they have a mental health issue, if we can help them, then that's what's most important.
And this year, the club is adding a candlelight vigil to its yearly event.
We'll have a short program where we'll have a speaker come in and talk to the students, and we also have music and poetry, and then we'll end out our program with a memorial to remember those who've lost their battle to suicide.
Troy University's Kappa Delta sorority helped Troy residents recognize the important women in their lives in an event on the square on Saturday. Adoria Hughes has that story.
Saturday, Troy University's Kappa Delta sorority hosted an International Women's Friendship Month celebration to celebrate girls with different interests and abilities.
Kappa Delta's national brand is building confidence, inspiring action, and we just really believe that the best place to start with that is in women of all ages. We believe that building confidence in girls starting from a young age all the way up to when they're a woman is important just because of the pressures and the stigmas that are placed on women in today's world. So we just love to invite our friends and family out to this so we can celebrate women.
This event is celebrated all month long with women around the world, and the main message is to celebrate each other.
It's held all throughout the month of September, and during this month we just try to promote friendships with women and celebrate all the women do for each other and love one another and have so much fun together.
Those who participated got an opportunity to shop with vendors and enjoy free food and entertainment. And Kaylee Killo says she hopes the celebration continues to grow.
This is something that we have planned to do every single year. We definitely don't see this coming to an end just because it is so important to celebrate the women in our lives. I think the goal of the event is definitely the same. The only thing that's changed is kind of the theme. We had more of a boho theme this year. We had a little bit different food, some different entertainment, but like I said, the goal is essentially the same just because International Women's Friendship Month is all about celebrating women. So we just really try to incorporate that every single year into this event.
Adoria Hughes, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Alabama residents will vote in November on a variety of local and state races. Anna Kate Patterson got a little insight into exactly why college-age residents should vote in a story from our Montgomery News Bureau.
As the November 6th general election approaches, the state of Alabama and its residents are preparing to vote for who they want in office with National Voter Registration Day on Tuesday.
The most fundamental right that we have as citizens of this great republic is to cast our ballot for the candidate of our choice. But first of all, you have to be a registered voter.
Since 2015, 1,064,616 Alabama voters have been registered.
We now have 3,418,839 registered voters in Alabama. Those numbers are unprecedented and unparalleled in the history of the state.
But how do you register to vote? Traditionally, a voter would have to complete a paper voter registration in written form, submit it to the Board of Registrars, and allow them to process your application. However,
in January of 2016, we introduced our mobile app at Vote for Alabama, which will now take you to our website and will allow the voter to register online for the very first time. So you can visit the mobile app at Vote for Alabama, or you can visit our website at alabamavotes.gov.
And why should you vote?
It's important to vote because we are the future, and I believe that things that come into place today will affect us the most later on.
And according to Secretary Merrill, it's important to be involved, whether that be in politics, on campus, or just in your community. It's important to be a part of the solution you ask for.
And you need to try to find a way to become more plugged into the things that are going on campus so you can become more involved when you graduate. As a matter of fact, a young man who had just been out of the University of Alabama for less than a year is the one that created our mobile app.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll see how Troy University's library celebrated banned books. That's coming up right after this, so stay tuned.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
What do Spider-Man, Batman, and Archie all have in common? Well, not only can you view them on a television screen, you can flip through their stories in a book, more specifically, a comic book. Shantia Wilson shows us why a Comic-Con was held in the Troy University Library.
Banned Books Week kicked off in the Troy University Library Sunday afternoon with a new perspective. The Comic-Con event highlighted comics, art, games, and the stories they tell.
The Banned Books Week is just a time to celebrate the freedom to read. We don't realize it, but a lot of books are challenged and banned here in the United States, and even more so outside of this country. So it's just a time to bring to the forefront of people's minds that, yes, we do have this freedom to read, don't take it for granted. And so we were thinking the Comic-Con's a good time because comic books are actually a form of banned books. People don't like the content, so this is just a good way to kick off the week.
The Comic-Con featured artists from the Montgomery area, comic experts, and even a photo booth. And although there was a lot of entertainment, the focus remained on the freedom to read.
Banned Books Week is a national event that celebrates the freedom to read. This week focuses on the First Amendment and the censorship of information. Books have often been banned due to literary, artistic, or educational content.
This week also highlights individuals persecuted due to the content they produced, circulated, or read.
Librarians work to make sure the students have access to this information, whereas people around the world try to ban or challenge books that tell their stories, and we want those stories told. So what we do is we try to inform students, through Comic Cons or a readout event. We try to inform them about reasons why these books are being banned so that they can be informed and, spread the message.
The next Banned Books event will be a readout event hosted by faculty on Wednesday. Shantia Wilson, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And some of those banned books turned into some artwork on display all this week in the library. Seth Hawk shows us why.
Troy University's library currently has a display showing what books have been banned in the past and present, in recognition of National Banned Books Week, which gives us a reminder to celebrate the fact that we can read what we want to read.
As librarians, what we do with Banned Books Week is we use that time to inform people about censorship, what it is, why it's wrong, and what sort of books that have been tried to be censored.
With books like the Harry Potter series, To Kill a Mockingbird, and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn topping banned books lists all over the U.S., Wilson says that the mission of Banned Books Week is simply to inform.
We want to inform the students that censorship is a problem and that we're trying to open their minds. Just because you don't like this book or you think it's bad does not mean that somebody else is not going to enjoy it.
Haley Neal is a senior at Troy University and is an avid reader. who feels that just because banning a book is justified doesn't mean it is fine to do so.
Popular books like 13 Reasons Why, things like Animal Farm, Lord of the Flies, those are all books that I have known and loved, and the fact that people are pulling them out of their stores, pulling them out of libraries because somebody else said you're not allowed to read them, I think is unfair.
Seth Hawk, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And the highlight event of Banned Books Week had people gather in the Troy Library to read from their favorite books that for some reason at some point had been banned. Joshua Thomas has the story.
For those of you who may not know, this week, September 23rd through 29th, is Banned Books Week. Banned Books Week brings the entire book community together to support the freedom of expression and ideas.
Yes, this has been celebrated since the early 80s. It's just a way to bring to light the fact that people still try to censor or ban books. Even though this is a free country, people still try to do that. So it's just a way to get people to appreciate the freedom to read.
Today, the Troy University Library held a readout event to support Banned Books Week, in which faculty and staff read passages from their favorite banned books.
It's just a way for people to express their favorite banned books, why people should have the freedom to read. So we try to get faculty and staff around the university to come and speak on their favorite book, and so we've had a really good turnout.
Emily Zapata chose to read from the book and now popular Netflix series 13 Reasons Why, and discuss why she decided to choose the book.
This book I picked up when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it because it spoke to me about things that I had felt as a young child, not a young child, but a teenager, and things that I had heard others go through. And I thought it was important that people pick it up and realize there's more than just a suicide note. There's more than just this series that's going on. It's thought-provoking.
Zapata also comments on why she felt the event was important and decided to attend.
I'm a former English teacher, and I've always felt very strongly about the power of the written word, and especially banned books, because they're banned for a reason. They cause thoughts, they cause excitement, and people don't know how to handle that sometimes. So I feel it's very important that we always give them the freedom to read.
Students, while listening, were able to enjoy free snacks and put their names into drawings for free prizes. Joshua Thomas, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Well, it's time for our last break. When we return, we'll learn about some interesting ways Troy students learned about taking care of themselves. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Did you go to the schoolyard? Calm down, please. Where did you look? We can make a plan somehow. If I just.
He's a smart boy, and he's gonna be okay.
Okay, try to call him again.
There's no reception. Everything is down.
Try.
I can't.
Try already.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
everything's
try.
down.
Do you think he's on his way? Please. Is he okay?
Laura.
Please tell me he's okay.
I need you to calm down.
What? It's my baby. This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
The stress of a college student's day can sometimes become overwhelming. So on Wednesday, Trojan Outreach set up a table in Troy University's main quad to encourage students to treat themselves. Cody Giles shows us how.
On Wednesday, Trojan Outreach set up a booth on the main quad in an attempt to give students an opportunity to relax and treat yourself.
So today we're on the quad handing out these little self-care treat yourself booklets, and basically each one of these has a coupon that has anything from treating yourself to an episode of Netflix after a long day of studying, just doing little things to take care of yourself during the school year.
Trojan Outreach is a group on campus that spreads awareness to college students and allows them opportunities to relax or just talk to someone in a time of need.
We have the Student Counseling Center, which is a free counseling center. It's anonymous if you ever need counseling. Great resource. The people there love the students, and that's why they're here. So definitely take advantage of that.
All of the outreach program's events around campus revolve around the students, whether it be treating yourself to some me time or showing support for those going through troubled times.
So we have a trivia night going on this Thursday from 7 to 9. We'll have all kinds of trivia, we'll have some prizes, which will be some candy and things like that. And we also have a tailgate for National Recovery Month this Saturday from 11 to 2. All students are welcome to come.
Cody Giles, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The International Student Cultural Organization aims at educating students about different countries and cultures at their meetings each week. At their last weekly meeting, ISCO focused on the country of Saudi Arabia. And Tony Reese has the details.
Wednesday night, students gathered in Howe Hall to learn about the culture of Saudi Arabia. The organization ISCO held their weekly meeting, and this week's discussion spotlighted the country, Saudi Arabia, and its various regions. Saudi Arabian student Adil Aduaji presented on his country and gave insights to common stereotypes that people may have had.
It was just basically about Saudi Arabia, the culture, the religion, and the geography of Saudi Arabia. Just try and convince them to come visit and tell them how amazing Saudi Arabia is. And I try to clarify some stereotypes and tell them all the stereotypes we have about America, and that's it.
Students in attendance shared their thoughts on what they learned after the presentation.
The most interesting part was knowing about the women. They just started driving, and they were not driving before, but recently they have started driving, and their cultures, their dress, how the women wear outside when they go to events and stuff, and what they wear when they are like in the house and stuff, and their foods. I have tried their tea before, and it's really awesome. I love it. And yeah, Saudi Arabia is one of my favorite places, and I would love to go and visit there.
I learned a lot about the culture and just the normal things that people do. I learned about, I think they're a little more lenient about women over there than I thought, because I knew they had just gained the right to drive, but he talked about in some regions, women already know how to drive, and they do it on the regular. So I thought that was interesting, and I didn't know they like to drift. Like, drifting's a big thing. That was kind of a shock, and I was really interested in the geography, all the diversity there.
ISCO is an event that's held every Thursday in Howe Hall. This has been Antonio Reese, Troy, TrojanVision News.
There was a shootout in the Elm Street gym Wednesday night, but don't worry, no one was hurt. That's because the students were participating in a friendly game of laser tag, courtesy of the University Activities Council. Cody Giles has the story.
On Wednesday, the University Activities Council held an event in the Elm Street gym to give students the chance to have a little fun and even blow off some steam.
We are playing laser tag, and so we have a huge inflatable set up inside, and students can go in and shoot each other with some lasers. It's just like a fun thing for students to get out of their dorm rooms or their apartments or wherever they are. Just have fun instead of studying.
The UAC hosts events weekly to allow the students an opportunity to experience activities they normally wouldn't be able to in Troy.
This event has been popular in the past. It's actually been very well attended. It's really cool to have like this huge inflatable put up and bright lights everywhere and music blaring. That's kind of a fun thing to do.
Don't worry if you missed out on laser tag. The UAC has a list of events to come.
Next week we have $2 movie night at the movie theater. It's our most popular event, and after that we are partnering with ISCO to put on bingo night.
$2 movie night will take place on Wednesday, October 3rd, and bingo night will be at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, October 10th in the Trojan Lounge. And to keep up to date with all future events, check out the UAC on social media.
You can follow us at Troy UAC on all social media forums, which are Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, the whole 9 yards. Follow us to get updates on what we're doing and events in the future.
Cody Giles, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And that's what happened this week. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune in to Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or anytime by following us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Until next week, we hope you have a good week and see you next.